Hey guys, Matt from Soundrolling.com. Got my shades ready for my holiday starting tomorrow. 3 weeks I'm going away, which is going to be amazing. Hopefully it's going to be like weather like this. But just got off just got off the phone even with Paul Isaacs, who's just taken a 19-hour flight to get to Amsterdam. They're setting up at IBC, where you can see the new Wingman that's coming out. It's going to start shipping tomorrow, September 9th. And you should, if you've pre-ordered, get your orders in depending on your dealer, kind of mid to late next week, which is exciting. Should look forward to a video from them, if not today, tomorrow, with more kind of hands-on stuff. But I thought I'd just give you an overview because I asked what questions you guys kind of wanted, and thought I'd give you a more general overview as well. So essentially the backstory of this app, which you can download. It's only available on iOS. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any details of future development because this is all very secretive, of course, like with any company. But they were obviously able to tell me kind of a bit more of the backstory and a few of the other features and questions. So let's just get into it. I mean, the backstory is essentially that the people really love the 7 series recorders, and obviously they have the CLwifi app, and just having a kind of a wireless solution in terms of entering in metadata on a bigger screen, with a touch screen interface without having to go through just kind of submenus and everything, with plugging in a keyboard into a mixer is still just going to be faster. And essentially, Paul was saying that this essentially just came from user feedback. The whole point of it was to just essentially speed up the process. And even though the process of just using a keyboard and going back and forth through menus, it's just making stuff a lot faster. So obviously the app is called Wingman. It's free to download, but you will need an adapter to make it work. And it's $59, €59, 59 seems to be the price everywhere. So that's obviously an incredibly amazing sort of price just to get people involved in the app. And you're going to need an adapter, but it'll come with an adapter to plug into your port. Or if you're with the CL12 with the mixing desk, then you're going to be able to just plug that bad boy straight into that mixer, because that has the right kind of port for accepting a USB dongle. It works over Bluetooth, which is really nice. So whenever you're using a device, which you'll see later on, you're going to be able to use the device over Bluetooth, but you're also then going to be able to use your Wi-Fi. So this is going to allow you to use some of the cool functionality in terms of generating sound reports and sending emails. If you've ever used like a GoPro and you've had to like log into their Wi-Fi to control the app, it obviously limits you in terms of just internet connectability. And if there's loads of Wi-Fi flowing around and dropouts and all this kind of stuff, essentially they went with Bluetooth just to make it a bit more robust, and just so you could have more of that functionality, which is, I think, really, really cool. So you're going to need a device, either an iPad, an iPhone, iPod Touch with iOS 8 Plus, and then you're going to just need to turn your Bluetooth on. And what's going to happen is, as soon as you open the app, you're going to be able to see a list of devices. It only works with one device at a time. That's just because most people will only have one device, but if you have more devices, you can quickly cycle through them, and they're labeled by the model name and then the serial number. Now you can check that in your device settings essentially, but what you can also do is when it comes up, there'll be a little I button, and the little I button will allow you to send a message to that device, and it'll flash up on the LCD being like, "Hello, I'm over here." So if you need to quickly check, and then you'll get used to your number, just like your phone number. So that's really nice. And once you're logged in to one of them, then it takes it off the list of available devices. So if you just have one and you're logged into it, then no one else is going to be able to log into that one, which is obviously really useful. And also, because of obviously the naming system, it just makes it a lot easier, so you don't have like hundreds potentially of different devices floating around all the time. So when you open up the app opens up in portrait mode, and there's, firstly, you're presented with metering, and obviously you have your record button, you have your stop button, you have your false take button, you have your circle button. But what's also nice is that you get 3 fixed meter views. So you can't change these at all, but they cover everything. So for the 688, for instance, it's going to be your mix plus your ISO tracks. And then you're going to have a separate meter view for your mix tracks, your LNR, plus your auxiliaries, 1 through 6. And then you're going to have a returns one. So that's going to monitor all your returns that are coming back in. And you can just swipe across and see them as you like. And also on the 688, you're going to be able to see which ones have auto mix enabled, which is obviously going to be really useful as well. A little purple arrow, purple kind of sign coming up telling you what's enabled, so you can better judge your kind of mix, is obviously going to be really useful. So then we obviously have the take list as well, which is much improved in terms of just performance, in terms of the speed of opening it and just accessing all those takes. You can get to the previous last 50, and you can configure all the fields like the track name, the notes, all that kind of stuff. And then you can also go onto your sound reports, and then you can do for the headers of your sound reports tab, so like producer, your name, mixer name, all that kind of good stuff. And then you are able to essentially save everything all together wherever you're recording it. So if you're recording it to the SD card in a certain folder, CF card, then you can just choose, jam it in there, and it'll auto-generate. And then it'll also ask you if you want to email this to anyone else, so you can easily email it to an editor, you can email it to the DIT if you like as well, or anyone who kind of needs it, even yourself if you just want to back up for home and you haven't done it yet. What else? So the range should be pretty good. Again, you shouldn't need to be that far away, because you are not able to kind of monitor from the iPad. So it's very much kind of a cart-based situation. You'll still need your headphones plugged in to your mixer to obviously be able to mix. But this is just really, really nice just to get a kind of a bigger overview of your metering and for metadata entry and changing. So it's essentially just really nice to just speed up some of those workflows on a cart-based system. You can't lock any record buttons. Someone mentioned earlier about could you lock them in case you accidentally knock them. This, especially on the iPad version, is just not going to be possible. On the iPhone version, if you're worried, you can just flip to a different meter view and then those buttons won't come up. But I think usually you'll only accidentally record if you drop the iPad on the floor or something like that. So, and obviously when you're plugging in, this will replace the keyboard. So you kind of have the option of you either have the keyboard for metadata entry or you have the iPad. Now obviously with an iPad you can get, because it's via Bluetooth, you still have the option to obviously get a keyboard for your iPad if you want. So you can have this set up as a separate little monitor station, and just kind of crank out your metadata from there. So that is a really quick smashed overview of everything essentially, which is really good. I'm really kind of looking forward to it. So again, I really want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, the more people can see it. And if you want to see daily content, including when I'm on holiday, wearing these bad boys, then subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow.